What's up, everybody? This is Henry here from the Cannabis Dispatch, also the CBD Business Networking Facebook group, and my guest today is Matthew from SG Sales. So, Matthew, tell us a little bit.
BG Sales.
BG Sales. Sorry, my bad. I saw Samsung somewhere, but all good.
How you guys doing today? So yeah, man, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just doing good. So, tell us a little bit about what BG is about.
So BG strives to be a one-stop shop for all things. Mind you, we're in Kentucky, so all things tobacco related, sans tobacco. So we don't sell any wraps. We focus on, hemp wraps and, water pipes, roll your own. We've been with Raw for years, OCB, Vibes. We really strive to cover the bread and butter. And right now with the PACT Act, it seems like that's important because you see so many vape shops struggling. So they've kind of had to jump ship and move into combustibles, which is, insane.
Oh, yeah. I got you. So how long have you been at BG for as well?
Myself, I am coming up on 2 years here in a few months. But this business has been around about 35 years there.
Oh, wow. What was it that made you want to work for BG?
Okay, got all screwed up. Sorry, say that one more time.
What was it that made you want to work with BG?
So I used to manage a restaurant, and my boss used to come in pretty regularly, or one of them did, and he was a real cool guy. We clicked pretty quickly, and it's the restaurant industry, so I couldn't find myself sticking with it. So I asked him what he did. He said he sold CBD and like products. I said I like sales, and here we are. Dove in head first. It's probably the best decision I've made in a long time.
Oh, it's good to know. What was the toughest thing you went through when you started working at BG?
So when you're in a sales job that's, especially commission based, it's real hard getting started and being able to afford food, afford rent. Because you have to build those relationships. That takes time. It snowballs. So I found the hardest part for me was, just getting started. I mean, it takes time, but I've been fortunate enough that, I met a lot of cool people and we've clicked really well. And that's been, I've been blessed for sure.
Oh, I got you. Is there anything you would do differently too if you had to go back to day one?
Yeah, I'd get started a lot earlier. I mean, this is an industry that I truly believe in, and always been kind of the black sheep of the family. So I'm all about this counterculture, as it were. I meet tons of really cool people, and it's an industry that you get to really be yourself, and you can level with people one-on-one, especially in a sales environment that you might not be able to do with something like medical sales. And that's nice because you get to meet people and, get to know those people.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Oh, so you're saying, yeah, because you feel like there's no constraints to trying to hide. You can actually be yourself. It's not like you have to put on a really professional face or whatever.
Yeah, not nearly as much as you would in another field.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely can't be yourself. But
I mean, I guess it's not like everything's all buttoned up and cutthroat, but it's definitely back and forth.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to wearing a three-piece suit every day, if you know what I mean. That was not fun.
No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not fun at all. Yeah, to be able to work in any clothes you want, definitely relaxing.
Oh yeah, coming in shorts and t-shirt. Got a chair that reclines. I can't complain.
Yeah, and what would you say too was the toughest part about being in this business field in 2021?
In 2021, oh god, the PACT Act. So behind me is the remaining of what we have for Randy's and vape products or battery products, and it's looking like we may not actually carry anything vape related, be that dryer, liquid, or concentrate, because that's the hoops you have to jump through. It's almost not worth it. So it's kind of concerned because, even your Delta 8 cartridges, your CBD cartridges, those things fly. Customers love it. And we are now dealing with, such heavy paperwork loads And then you've got, the increased taxes, and we got to file for every state. I'd say that that is probably our biggest challenge right now, is making sure we're up to date, because the government sure as hell will let you know if you're not.
Oh yeah, I got you. What about if like a business were to choose between your business and three others like yours? Why should they try to go with you first?
Because we'll be the most personable. We'll work with you. Not afraid to get down and dirty, and save you as much money as possible, boost the margins. But having a team that has been doing this, running this business 35 years, gives a whole new level of knowledge and insight on the industry, as it's ridden the roller coaster all the way through, from spice being made illegal down to can't even sell hand pipes without the DEA coming knocking on your door. So I'd say the knowledge and the experience that this team has and this family has, because it's a family-owned establishment, is something you just don't get with so many big companies.
Oh, I got you. What's the number one way you guys currently bring in new customers?
Lots of phone calls. We try to. Well, I guess let me rephrase that. We do make a lot of phone calls. I'd say Facebook actually is probably the way that we find our customers the best. We're constantly developing our digital footprint, as it were. So the guy that's in charge of making sure Jake, who's in charge of making sure that our ads are getting out, and our sorry, our ads are getting out, and everything's up to date on our Facebook pages and our groups. That's absolutely huge in this business, because it's so easy to get new stuff in, but it's getting it in front of people's faces that's important. And I'd say social media has been a blessing.
Oh, I got you. Any other forms of internet too that have played a big role in making your business more prevalent?
I'm sorry, what was that one more time?
Any other, because you mentioned social media, so is there any forms of internet media that's also playing a big role in the growth of the company?
I know that Jake's been doing more work on Twitter. We do use Instagram, but honestly, he kills it when it comes to, I believe it's SEO. So whenever it comes to Googling something, especially in our region, making sure that we are at the top of that list without having to give Google a bunch of money is something he's been killing it, and that has driven tons of customers our way.
No, yeah, that's definitely awesome to hear. So, like, if you were to look like 6 months to a year down the line, where would you like to see BG at?
Where would I like to see BG? I would like to see us keep moving in an upward projection, like we have an upward trajectory, like we have been. As always, when a business grows, there are some growing pains, but I'm looking forward to what we have to bring. We've already got several new products lined up to drop throughout the year. We've got a lot in the works. It's kind of been pushed back by COVID, but now things are starting to catch up, and we're hitting the ground running hard.
Oh, awesome.
So I don't really have a place I'd like to see us. I'm just excited to get there, because where we're going is going to be great.
How'd you guys adjust when COVID-19 hit initially as well?
We spent, well, at least the sales reps were considered non-essential. So we spent a good amount of time working at home for a couple of months. And I mean, while COVID was pretty bad for a lot of industries, it was a blessing for the smoke shop and counterculture industry, because what are people doing when they're sitting at home?
Oh, yeah.
They're consuming whatever legal materials they enjoy. So that has been, I think that we have been very lucky to be in this industry, and to see shop owners saying that they've had some of the best quarters they've seen ever. That's awesome. I mean, it hurts because you do see people closing, but it's done a lot of good for a lot of people also.
Oh yeah, I would say like, yeah, smoke shops are a recession-proof business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But is there like when like regular cannabis is legal, is that something you guys plan to carry down the line as well?
Right now, with us being in Kentucky, there's nothing is planned, nothing is off the table depending on legalization. I mean, we are sitting on we're fortunate to be on a good plot of land. So if legalization were to happen in, the next 10 years here in Kentucky especially, maybe we do it. I don't know. We got a lot of room for growth, and we've got a lot of ambition.
Good to you. Because I know like Virginia legalized pretty recently, so it's like Kentucky's not too far away from there. So like all those surrounding states could be legalized pretty soon. Like North Carolina just introduced a bill.
I hope so, but the problem is we can't even have hemp flower without a farming license. Otherwise, same charges as cannabis, as marijuana.
Yeah.
Which is insane in a state that is known for their hemp field. But I do hope legalization is coming our way. There's been a lot of bills being pushed through. I know some people with Kentucky NORML. They've been working their asses off. We had a veteran who comes in here and he runs a program. It's a nonprofit that's focused on getting veterans the cannabis that can really help them. And they've said that they've submitted a couple of bills now this year, even trying to get that through. It's an uphill battle.
Oh, awesome. And I'm curious too, because you say you're based in Kentucky. Are there certain states where you sell the products to? Is it all continental U.S., just surrounding states? What's your territory?
East to west, we hit it all. We're right next to Louisville, or Louisville's the center for UPS's international hub. The only reason we have an international airport is because UPS is based there. So it's nothing. I mean, it's nothing to get a product to Alaska in 3 days on UPS ground, which is just absolutely insane. So that's a very nice perk of living in this city, especially.
Oh, I didn't know there was like that airport that can transport goods that fast either. It's pretty cool. That's
oh yeah, it's insane. And the fact that they want to call it ground, but still Alaska 3 days and Hawaii's 5, but I assume that they've got their own transportation issues getting from island to island once they're over there.
No, yeah, that's something I've always been curious about too. If you live in Hawaii, how they get the goods imported, exported, and across the islands too.
That would be I don't know if I'd want to deal with that, honestly. I kind of like being able to just hop in my car and drive. I don't know if I'd want to hop on a ferry and have to take it to another island.
No, yeah, I got you. And trying to think, what other? Oh man, I'm just blanking out some questions.
Oh, I'm the same
right now too. But what's your best-selling product, by the way, too?
Best-selling product?
Yeah, somebody were to come to you and say, hey, like, I want to buy some. I'm looking to buy. Like, which ones would you recommend?
Our flagships are honestly Raw, Detoxify, and Earth Kratom. Those are our flagship products. I mean, we've been with HPI since Josh first started the company. He's known our bosses for years, so we were one of the first distributors. So we love Raw, we love Josh. We are obligated to say that we do carry their full line of products. And right now, I would say Vibes is becoming a heavy hitter. I know that Raw has faced some issues with transportation and manufacturing, which is out of their hands, unfortunately, because demand's tripling and plants were shutting down, or demand tripled and plants were shutting down due to COVID. So it's kind of crazy, but I think Vibes is catching up, and Vibes is becoming the go-to for cones.
Mm-hmm. You guys take CBD oil products too, correct?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
So yeah. If any company were to approach you and then you test, does the process work? Like, hey, you test the product, see how the quality, and then you decide if you want to go with them. Is that how it works?
So we used to carry multiple lines of CBD products. Right now, we've got a Kentucky Proud Green Remedy, and they're based here in Louisville. They do lots of testing. We've been pretty thorough about weeding out the products that we didn't want to stick with, be it an issue with, as you said, testing, because we did find it's such a saturated market that there are companies coming out saying this is how much it is, and the milligrams are nowhere near what they're claiming. But being in Kentucky, we have been fortunate to have a lot of great brands here locally. So Green Remedies are made for tincture, but then we've also got Honeybee, and this is a lady from out west who makes an absolutely amazing set of salves. At least that we carry the salves and roll-ons, and a whopping 2,000 milligrams for a salve. That's wholesale $25. It's insane.
Yeah, I think is there any CBD product you would like to hold down the line too? Like if it comes out with like some sauces, any other products you see like that'll be good for having CBD infused in it?
Is there anything they haven't infused CBD with? I would like to. I enjoy what I've seen out of the sauces and out of the dabs, but when it comes to CBD, at this point, it seems that your Delta 8 CBD sauces and your Delta 8 products are what's dominating. Because you do still have a lot of people who take CBD, but I think overall it's safe to say that everybody's seen a bit of a decline in that side. But that's just because how saturated the market got. Nobody knew what was good. Nobody knew what wasn't.
No, yeah, definitely. That's definitely true. I think in any place where there's a lot of gray area, you're going to have a lot of people, but I think it's just like time reveals all, like they say.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see how it peaks and valleys, because there are still months where, move tons of CBD products, and there's just months where it dips off. Right now, I think I'm just excited to be involved with the all natural aspect of it all. CBD, kratom, kava, having stuff that's, we're in an era where the products that are really moving aren't something like spice where it's manufactured in a lab. I mean, yes, CBD does have to be processed, but it's a beautiful thing when it's not a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah. Oh, I think I like to see like a lot of hygienics too infuse CBD, like deodorants, like shampoo, like soap, like body washes.
We do have some shampoo. It hasn't. I mean, we picked it up right now. We do have it. It's on clearance. I think a lot of people are so iffy because there's still not enough knowledge out there on what CBD is really good for. I do wonder sometimes if, because there was a time when you slap CBD in it, it sold like it was nothing. But I think the lack of research on some things is coming up. I mean, we still have tons of research, but we're still very early in this. So I think that a lot of people started making products just to say it had CBD in it,
Oh yeah,
it's not really knowing the full benefits for that part.
Oh yeah, because they've even discovered all the cannabinoids yet too.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you said that. We do specialize in. We've got a product specializing in cannabidivarin CBDV. I'm not sure if that's one you're familiar with. It's Groovy Fruit. So they're terpene infused gummies, strain specific. So right now what we have is Maui Wowie. And they believe they have 25 milligrams of CBDV, which right now the Department of Defense is doing a research study on for people on the autism spectrum. They're finding it's helping with Crohn's disease. It's, inflammation. So it's got a lot of the benefits of CBD, but they're finding, it may help a little more. And I know that I've been seeing some THCV products popping up here and there. So I'm excited to see what other cannabinoids, that are going to become prevalent, because CBG, CBN, those have already been out there. I think we're just now stepping into the full benefits of cannabis.
Oh yeah,
And once we start to find those, then that's when, that's when the real helpful products are gonna come out. More
definitely.
sleep capsules, CBG infused, which have been great. But what else is there?
No, I think too, like there'll definitely be like anxiety treatments too, or stuff for like
Hmm.
depression as well. Like I noticed too, taking CBD, the quality of my sleep's much better after taking it for a while.
Absolutely.
It's like you're in a much
Absolutely.
deeper sleep too. It's crazy.
Hmm. I'm a big fan of CBD patches also. It started with me getting a THC patch when I was in Denver, and I was like, oh, there's no way this is gonna work. And I was pleasantly surprised. Um, I'm not a fan of oiliness, so I mean, I was a big fan of our water-based extracts when we had them, but the CBD patches, oh, killer,
Yeah.
absolutely killer.
Somewhat another professional said he thought the pill form was the most effective form of taking CBD, which I thought was interesting.
It probably does have the most. Your body could probably uptake the most that way, most bioavailability. It just seems like there's so many different ways to put it into our body. We have such a readily available endocannabinoid system that wants to bind to these. Uh, so that is pretty nice.
Oh yeah, there's like teas and it's like they take CBD tea, also like CBD infused water. But they're gonna infuse that with they'll infuse coffee beans into it too.
We did have some coffee pods there for a while, through Creating Better Days that were really good. And then Green Roads made some bags of coffee that we were selling that people absolutely loved. Unfortunately, I didn't think about grabbing myself a bag before we sold out. So can't say I've tried it myself, but I think the CBD would be a very nice balance, especially for those who get jittery from coffee but
Uh,
need that morning pep.
yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like because I take like CBD oil first thing in the morning, then I have some coffee. I don't get any of the jitters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it counteracts all of that.
And you're not putting a pharmaceutical in your body to feel that way, which is nice.
Oh yeah, that too.
And I think that's a major concern with, finding these cannabinoids is big pharma has been so quick to make their own synthetic version to be used. I mean, they're using synthetic THC for cancer patients to help with their nausea and pain management. I just don't understand why. Well, big pharma. Did you think that you just push through legalization so that everybody can, have this readily available?
Yeah, I was curious too if Big Pharma is gonna go try to develop some relationships with farmers, and then they can get like have some farmers supply the flower, and then they can make it into whatever capsules.
I just hope that the farmers that would get those contracts would be the same people that struggled with the hemp farms. I mean, we did see where uh, there was a local uh, there was not a convention, there was a local auction for all of the surrounding state farmers to come in and put their product up for sale, and they found, so selling a pound for $5, and so many people left their product because they were unable to sell it. I've talked to a couple of farmers. They've reached out saying, hey, what do I do? And unfortunately, at this point, it's their best option. I've pointed to Delta 8. You should work getting your product that you've grown and all your hard work and pump it into what's trending right now. Because I feel like a lot of these people, hemp's a very prominent crop here in Kentucky, and it was for years and years and years. I think that will continue to grow. But I think that these people who are doing it, they've thrown so much of their lives into it that they deserve having those contracts as opposed to a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
No, I agree too. It's like yeah, they busted their asses for so long. They should be rewarded.
Hmm. But unfortunately, it's a green rush, so there are people who fall short, which is sad.
Yeah, I know too. Like some farmers have a hard time selling the flower too. It's like they got 2 years. They hold the flower for 2 years. They can't find a buyer. So like there has to be a way for them to find somebody to use it for some kind of product.
Just insanity.
Yeah.
And hopefully, once there's full legalization nationwide, hopefully we have a bit of it'd be nice to have a bit of a green rush where prices weren't ridiculous after
Yeah.
taxes.
think there still have to be some type of regulation though. With, like
Oh yeah.
there has to be. I think for it to work to be really successful and to boom, yeah, still has to be have some regulations. But like you see, like what it will be.
It's just the waiting game. We're stuck in the waiting game, and
Yeah,
our parents were in the waiting game, and it's getting closer. It's
yeah. I
just
mean,
so close but so far.
we have like 17 states, I think, right now who are legal. So like numbers going to be going up and up though. Like I think
Absolutely.
Virginia legalizing it, a lot of southern states are going to follow. We'll see who's next. Like I think Florida and Texas pass. I think then people move much quicker. We'll see though.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. It's the southern states that need to flip.
Yeah,
It's just I think that there's a lot of morals and values that people were raised with that keep them from doing so.
yeah. But I mean, like Florida and Texas aren't like traditional southern states though. They're kind of like eclectic because there's so many
That
different
they are.
backgrounds. It's
That
like,
they are.
yeah, it's like the further south you go in Florida, it feels like you're more in like the northeast or Midwest. You got a lot of people moving like from like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, like Pennsylvania, or even Midwest states down in there. So yeah, that's one thing too. I think Texas is starting to get like parts of Texas are getting people who weren't from Texas originally as well too.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that there's been a big rush to Texas, people moving there. Uh, I did find it very hopeful when Texas said that they were no longer going to start persecuting for small quantities. Now, mind you, their one sheriff said, "Screw that, we're still going to do it." But when they started taking steps back in Indiana, even because I'm from Indiana, they even started taking steps back from prosecuting uh, people with small quantities of marijuana, and I think that that's a huge step for those states.
Yeah,
Because I remember growing up and thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for a dime bag." Mind you, still breaking the law, but sometimes that can be pretty harsh.
no, yeah, like I thought I think now that they're waking up saying like, hey, this is not a fair penalty for somebody holding a little plant. It shouldn't. It's like we're wasting a resource just trying to incriminate them or put them in jail, whatever.
This shouldn't be Schedule One.
Nah, I wonder if it'll be categorized with ATF, like, or if it'll be a whole new thing. It'll be,
How is Denver doing that? Denver has a special task force, don't they? Or not
I
Denver, but Colorado.
think so. That's like another thing too. I thought it's interesting too. Like some people moved to Colorado to get into the industry, but then they're going back to their original states once they saw those states legalized too. But it's good they're bringing that knowledge with them,
Hmm.
seeing what worked in there.
Well, maybe the DEA will end up taking that over if with the way, Oregon and Colorado are leading the charge with decriminalizing other things. Now, I'm not endorsing that or condoning that by any means. But with the way that they've led that charge, maybe the DEA will be retasked with managing that. I don't see them just shutting down a whole agency like
No,
that.
no, yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, it'll be like reconfigured, yeah, differently.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Anything else you want to go over as well too about BG?
Give us a call. We'll make it worth your while. We're happy to get to know you on a one-to-one, one-on-one basis, get to know you personally, and get you integrated with the BG family.
Yep. And what piece of advice would you give for somebody who's thinking about entering the industry?
Just do something you love. Just make sure it's something that you love. Don't get into it because you think that there's a money rush. Do it because you believe in it.
That's a great piece of advice right there. And what's the best way if somebody wants to get a hold of you, whether it's like they want to buy some products or they want you guys to hold for them? What's the best way?
Uh, you can find us at bgsales.net. Again, it's bgsales.net. You can find Matt, Jeff, Jake, and Mark uh, all of our names are those names with BG Sales at the end of it on Facebook. Get a hold of any one of us, we'll get you taken care of. Unfortunately, registering on the website is a little bit, lengthier. We prided ourselves in the quick, easy registration process, but with PackBack, they've kind of hit the brakes on us there.
Oh,
So just give us a call. We'll get you set up. We're happy to.
awesome. So yeah, thank you for being on today. You're more than welcome to come back for future interviews.
It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you very much for having me, Henry. And I like what you're doing with the group. It's good to see somebody who wants to be that hands-on and keeping it tight knit.
Yeah, appreciate it. Henry here signing off. Thank you again.